Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome. As you can see, we are in a different place. Today we are at the St. James Hotel in Selma, Alabama. My husband is at his class, and so I figured I would pull my cards out and do a little morning reading to see what energies came in through last night during the eclipse. So first we're going to shuffle up the rooms. Hello, Austin. Shuffle up the rooms. It is beautiful here, by the way. So for our first runes, we have travel, rhythm, and spontaneity. Then we have partnership, generosity, and relationships. And finally, renewal, growth, goals, and change. So what I'm seeing is this eclipse was bringing in the energies of realizing where you want to go with your life, how you want to travel, where you are thriving, so to speak. You don't shuffle on your feet, kids. Alrighty. Lovely Spirit, what messages did the eclipse bring out to us? What messages did the eclipse bring for us? Looks like we got 3 cards right now. Okay, so we have the 7 of Wands, which speaks to where you're building your foundation. It can also speak to travel, which, funny enough, that was the first rune that came out. But in her book, it also talks about how whether or not a timing is right to set the roots down on your foundation, whether or not the timing is right for you to decide that this is where you want to be, right? Then we also have the 4 of Cups with the Chariot on top of it. So I feel as if there's a moment that's coming in for you where you or someone you know is realizing the detrimental behavior of somebody closest to them. The bottom of the deck. It's the 2 of Pentacles. This could be somebody who is very close to you. Maybe somebody that you view as almost like family, even if they're not physically family. Now, it could also be your physical family, but it's somebody that you trust, somebody that you view almost as if it's somebody that you view as your other half, but for whatever reason, they haven't been leveling up or haven't been changing their frequency or working on their inner demons, on their soul work, shadow work, like you have. And so for whatever reason, they're not at the same pivotal moment that you are, and they're not going to be able to follow you into this new cycle of yours. And you keep trying to bring them in. You keep trying to allow them to feed and leech off of you and off of your energy. For some of you, I feel like your guides have been coming to you in forms of songs in your head, and I don't think it's actually like songs, like the song lyrics, but I think it's more of like the beat of the song, the tune of the song, the rhythm, okay? Holy Spirit, can you please give me another card as to what messages for those who are aligned to me, what messages, what energies are coming towards all of us feel like some of you have gained some knowledge, or you're gaining knowledge, you're going to learn something. Yeah, I think what it is you've gained some sort of knowledge. I'm going to read the Knight of Swords from the book for you, but I think that I feel like you've gained some sort of knowledge as far as the actions that come from you and the things that you can control, right? Because we also have the Ten of Cups here and the Queen of Wands, which the Ten of Cups is all about your emotions, right? The fulfilling of somebody else's cup, finding true love, finding not necessarily true love in the aspect that we think of as matrimonial or relationship-wise, you know, between two different parties. I mean like pure true love, as in the sense that you feel from your parents, or the sense that you might feel for your own children, or the sense that you might feel with your grandparents, right? We are taught love from a very young age in many, many different ways. And so being the human beings that we are, being the spiritual embodiment, spiritual energy of a soul living a human experience, we kind of get lost in the nuances of it all, right? We get lost in the way that somebody portrays said love, the way that we allow somebody's love to affect us. And I feel like you're changing. I feel like that is what is changing for you. But so anyways, I'm going to read the Knight of Swords card for you. And I'm so sorry. I hope that you guys can hear me very well. If I watch this over and you can't, I will do my best to mess with the audio on my apps. Swords, 8 and 9. With the Nine of Swords, we have a precondition for possible crisis due to a period of enclosure, isolation, or seclusion. Well utilized, however, will enable new wisdom, new light, new nourishment, which will enable the rebirth of our conscious and sustain our will, as well as limiting injuries, waste, ambiguity, and diffidence. Act with strength and prudence, ensuring your ideas are well focused and directing all your strength on these. So again, about the things that you're learning, the focusing. We have the Ten of Cups, which, like I said, it's your emotions. I'm going to go ahead and read that one too, actually. And that's interesting that that's the only cups we got out of all of the cards. It looks like. Oh wait, no, we got the Four of Cups earlier, right? Yeah. Yeah, I feel as if you are transforming into that butterfly. Look at the difference between the Four of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Okay, the Four of Cups, he is slumped down in his chair. There's some centipedes on the ground. There's also what looks as if it's a heart mirror. It's kind of hard to tell. I apologize for the brightness, but it looks as if it's a heart mirror. And then we've got a guitar. He's sitting in the chair. He's slumped over in the water that's within his cup. Now, in this illustrations, if there's usually skulls in the cup cards, the skulls have water in their heads, like their skulls are the cups, right? And so it's kind of hard to tell, but with him slumped over, he's just letting it pour out. He's pouring out all of his emotion. He's letting it all leave him and not necessarily serve its purpose, whether that's for good or for bad. Now, with this one is the Ten of Cups card. We see a butterfly that's above a house. The house has a heart on it, and if you look, the butterfly's bottom wings actually resemble ribs, which would resemble the air that's being filled with something, the flight that happens, or the hot air that can occur when people are sharing their emotions. Now, like I said, I'm going to read the Ten of Cups card to you, so that way you have the description from this particular artist on here. Four of Wands, Pentacles. Okay, a transformation is complete, but the butterfly has reached the end of its development. This card represents a coordination of an undertaking, a love, a project that we have poured all of our passion into. It is also connected to the home and to the family that lives there. All complications, divergent opinions, or losses can bring about negative emotions such as anger or bullying. Welcome without indulgence what you have gained and realized without fear or taking advantage of what you can gain. As this is your way, or as this is yours, and no one can take it away from you. Again, so this transformation that you're coming into, just to recap a little bit, this transformation that you're coming into is solely based off of new knowledge that is coming to you about somebody around you. There are people around you who you can depend on and who you can lean on in times of crisis, but there there are also people who are there who might or might not be secretly rooting for your downfall. And so you need to determine who is who in your life, where you want to plant those seeds, who you want to be your harvesters, your gardeners, the people that you count on, and then how in turn you are going to change your life around to begin this new next step, right? Or to move away from whatever energy you no longer want or what no longer serves you. It is interesting that we were talking about all of that. The card at the bottom of the deck is actually the Three of Swords, which comes before the Four. Obviously, 3 is before 4. But in the Three of Swords, they depict a person who is actually being backstabbed. And so when earlier I had said it feels as if, there are some people around you who don't belong, I feel as if you are in the aftermath of that backstabbing. Like, this is something that's going to be coming to you're going to find out about this backstabbing months, weeks, maybe even years after it's happened. And so it's not going to affect you in the way that you would assume it would have affected you if you would have found out it right then and there when it happened. But so instead you're more so concerned and more so focused on the act of not noticing it before. You're going to feel like it's going to test your judgment, test your intuition. You're going to feel like this is a sign for you to tell you that, oh, you're not as psychic as you thought you were. Oh, you're not as connected as you thought you were. I really don't like the word psychic, but anyways, you're not as connected as you thought you were. You're not as intuitive as you thought you were. You're not this, you're not that. When that's not the case. The case is simple as this. It is a lot easier for us as souls living human experiences to help other souls who are living human experiences rather than it is for us to help ourselves. Which is why a lot of times when we give advice to other people or when we're helping other people, I saw 12:22, when we are helping other people, it is a lot easier for us to put our focus and our thoughts and our energy into them because we don't know what their blockages are. We are looking at it from the outside perspective, and so it's easier for us to push them in the right direction, to push them in a direction that will benefit them in the long run. Whereas when we're dealing with ourselves, when we're dealing with internal things, when we're dealing with issues that are about us and about our personal lives, it is hard for us to acknowledge what it is that we need to work on because we see our blockages, we see our flaws. When you're open-minded as you are, it truly is harder to work on yourself than it is to work on somebody else. And that's just simply because we are human, or we are souls living human experiences, okay? I'm going to pull one more card from this deck. So Spirit, if you have any other messages that you would like us to know, please give us one card, or maybe even, we'll say a set of 3, no more than 3 cards depicting what blessing you have for us, what blessing you are wishing to bestow upon us within this next cycle of our lives, okay? So if there's anything else you have left to tell us, Spirit, please let us know now. We have the Sun card along with the Judgment card, both major arcanas. Now, as far as major arcanas are concerned, as far as this spread for you, we have the Chariot, the Sun, and Judgment. So now with that, that's telling me as far as 3 cards are concerned, with also the fact that I only asked for 3 at the most. We ended up having 3 major arcana cards, but anywho's, the Chariot, something moving quickly, something coming in fast, no time to second guess, right? Maybe impulsive. Then we have the Sun card, which is optimism, happiness, rewarding, joyfulness, love, beauty, right? And then we have the Judgment card, which in this particular one you can see you got what represents all of the, not necessarily the elements, but the suits of a tarot card, right? So you have red, which would represent wands. Then you have the orange, which represents, I want to say orange in this deck represents swords. She's green, which represents pentacles, and then blue, which represents cups. So they're all standing here surrounding this coffin that actually has a resurrecting skeleton child coming out of it, which then too also speaks to, as you think about it, as far as the Roman Catholic or the Catholic tradition of resurrection, or of the rapture, right, or of the judgment day. It's when the dead will rise. And so it's almost like as if there's a celebration. But anyway, so I had said 3 cards. We have the Chariot, the Sun, and Judgment. We're going to finish shuffling these, Spirit. If you have messages to go along with those, please share now. Again, we had 2 cards, the Sun and the Judgment card. They did not completely come out, so if you have any other messages you'd like to share, I will be glad to take those cards as well. 1, the Queen of Pentacles. Do we have any other messages, Spirit? Any other messages to follow with this Queen of Pentacles as far as the blessings are concerned that you are trying to bestow upon us? Okay, we'll go with these cards. If it's 4 cards, I'll take it. It's at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. The beginning of one's abundance, the beginning of one's prosperity, so to speak, right? Possible inheritance. The Queen of Pentacles indicates that you are moving on up. You are reaching a new level of your abundance. We have the 6 of Pentacles, which speaks towards time. So within far as time is concerned, time is always fleeting. Time is always time is a human-made construct. It's not necessarily a universal energetic construct. It is something that we as humans have made up over time. And remember, time is not always what you view it. Things are not always as they seem, okay? So I feel like that in and of itself is a particular message to let you know that as far as time is concerned, your timing on everything is always changing, right? At this current moment, you might be accepting of whatever blessings Spirit and the universe and your guides and your team are trying to offer you at this moment, but for whatever reason, there's also still moments where it can change, because we also have the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. So overall, that would be 5 major arcana cards, which 5 is the number of change. It's the number of awakening, I believe, as far as change are concerned. It's awakening into something new. I realize this is a long video and I apologize. But with the Hanged Man card, again, that speaks to something starting over. And what's interesting is in the bottom of this Hanged Man card, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is actually the top of the clock from the 6 of Pentacles card, which tells me this is something about a decision. This is something of as far as cycles repeating themselves. There is still a lesson that is needed to be learned, and there's still time to learn it, so don't rush it. Don't allow yourself to be disconnected from your mind and your body. Don't allow those things to become 2 separate entities anymore. Don't allow it. It's not worth it. Anyways, that is the end of this reading, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you could hear everything well. Like I said, if not, I will try to fix it. And let me know if you like the video on this. This is my laptop, so let me know if you like the videos on here, okay? Love you.